Good evening, and thanks so much for being with us. The investigation continues today into that fatal accident involving a minivan and a cyclist in St. George. The accident happened late last night around sunset, and it took the life of a Washington City man who leaves behind a wife and 4 children. Ladd Egan's live along State Route 7 in St. George. And Ladd, do investigators know at this point how the accident happened?
Well, they're still in the initial phases of that investigation, but they do tell me this roadway here, this is Southern Parkway that leads to the new St. George Airport. They say cyclists really like it because, as you can see, there's not a lot of traffic. But last night, there was a danger. The sun in the line of sight of motorists on this roadway, and they say that could have contributed to this terrible accident.
He was doing something he loved to do. He really had a passion for it.
36-year-old Braden Nelson spent the last moments of his life surrounded by friends from his triathlon club.
It was a very traumatic situation.
The scene was also traumatic for emergency responders, whom Nelson worked with as a registered nurse at the hospital and for Life Flight.
He is one of their own, and he's one of us, too. He's done excellent work in the community. He's well known, respected.
Highway Patrol Sergeant Jacob Hicks says they are focusing on the conditions when the crash happened Tuesday night just before 8 on Southern Parkway. A driver of a white minivan heading west told investigators he could not see because of the setting sun.
He felt an impact, his windshield exploded, and he did not know what he had hit or what had happened, so he stopped to find out, and of course he was quite shocked.
Investigators are making a scale diagram of the accident scene to determine if the car crossed the white line or if Nelson was in the traffic lane.
That's what we're trying to figure out, exactly where they were on the roadway.
He was one of the most loving people you'd ever meet. He loved his children. Loved his wife.
Nelson leaves behind a wife and 4 children who were inspired, along with hundreds of others, by his determination to run marathons and his struggle to finally finish the Ironman triathlon.
I think he was the type of individual that viewed life as a gift and just utilized every single moment of every day to enjoy it. When he walked into a room, he just lit it up with this infectious love for life.
Those who trained with Braden say he was truly an inspiration. He wasn't able to finish the Ironman here in St. George back in May, but he pushed through and inspired everyone when he crossed the finish line at an Ironman up in Idaho later in the summer. Those at the hospital in mourning where he worked and law enforcement, a lot of people looked at him and were inspired by his example. And Shauna, they say that he could inspire anyone as he was out running by simply shouting, "Booyah," and they've actually added that into the name of his memorial fund at Wells Fargo Bank, and anyone can go there and contribute to the Braden Nelson Booyah Memorial Fund to help his family in this time of need. Back to you.
Ladd, you can even tell in the photos that he just had a joy about him.
Yeah, such a joy, and they say he didn't exactly fit the mold of a triathlete, and that's
right.
what made him so inspiring, that ordinary people can do such amazing things.
Sad story. Ladd, thanks.